General Muhoozi's X account feed reads like a thriller script, but one with real diplomatic and legal consequences. For instance, General Muhoozi in May 2025 publicly admitted on X that he was holding Chagulanyi's bodyguard, Eddie Mutwe, who had gone missing for some days in his private basement, which was definitely outside any gazetted detention facility. General Muhoozi noted that, and I quote, "I am proud of all the hurt and pain I will inflict on the criminal Lukwago." In 2022, he tweeted that, and I quote, "It wouldn't take us, my army and me, 2 weeks to capture Nairobi." Kenya erupted in outrage. President Museveni publicly apologized, and Muhoozi was briefly removed as the commander of the land forces, but promoted from the rank of lieutenant general to a full general.
I mean, this is NTV showing the hypocrisy and the hollowness in Museveni's apology. You apologize for this man threatening or putting your country in a crisis, diplomatic crisis, and then you award him promotion for what? So Muhoozi was quick to post and said, "I want to switch off both Daily Monitor and NTV Uganda." Then he said, "I will do it soon. I just need clearance from Muhoozi." Is that something to be proud of? But that's what he tweeted. Said, "Hey, this is what I want to do. I want to switch off Daily Monitor and NTV." And guess what? Daily Monitor and NTV responded.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
Emboldened by disregard, fear, and the illusion of might of who he is, Muhoozi Kainerugaba is taking his lawlessness and impunity on another level. And after the abduction of former Lord Mayor of Kampala, Elias Lukwago, he continues to brag, say, "See me, now this is what I'm going to do." Now, he came out and threatened that he was going to, or looking forward to, shutting down NTV and Daily Monitor, respectively. These are two separate media houses that work under a ginormous media conglomerate, the Nation Media Group. And what I really like here is the response from NTV or Daily Monitor or Next Media, Nation Media, no, Next Media is NBS, but Nation Media as a whole. Look, they've been actually at the forefront of reporting all this about these stories, exposing how Museveni has politicized the judiciary, how he's pretty much using it against his political opponents. So Muhoozi was quick to post and said, "I want to switch off both Daily Monitor and NTV Uganda." Then he said, "I will do it soon. I just need clearance from Muhoozi." Is that something to be proud of? But that's what he tweeted. Said, "Hey, this is what I want to do. I want to switch off Daily Monitor and NTV." And guess what? Daily Monitor and NTV responded. And I really like how they responded. I'm going to go on and show you. First of all, they quote tweeted Muhoozi's tweet. This is what they said. Read that with me. They said, "Freedom of speech is a right of people and not a favor from the Ugandan government." And who said those words? Yoweri Kaguta Museveni at UNLF public rally, according to Uganda Times, on 28th February 1980. This was pretty much saying, hey, if you're waiting to get clearance from your dictator father, how about you go back to what he used to believe in? What did he used to believe in? He believed that freedom of speech is a right of people and not a favor from the government. That was your dad. So are you pretty much tacitly telling us that he was just using those words, he didn't actually believe them? Because You have to go back and see when he said these words. This was 1980 before he became president. Did he believe these words at all? Absolutely not. That's why he abandoned them the moment he became president. But that's not all. Daily Monitor quote tweeted that, and now I'll take you to what NTV reported about. On the same day, Muhoozi was tweeting on how he wants to shut down NTV and Daily Monitor. They covered this story. Watch.
General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the Chief of Defense Forces, is the third most followed individual on X in Uganda with approximately 1.3 million followers. His father, President Yoweri Museveni, leads with the highest following at over 3.7 million, while opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi, also known as Bobby Wine, ranks second with approximately 2.7 million followers. General Muhoozi's X account feed reads like a thriller script, but one with real diplomatic and legal consequences. The four-star general, which is the highest rank in the hierarchy of Uganda People's Defense Forces, has faced multiple accusations of exceeding or violating.
Who does that? I am a descendant of the Bachwezi. They will always rule Uganda. Who does that? Today I will release this idiot to police. I have run out of diapers. Never test me again.
His official mandate. As a senior military officer, his actions are governed by the Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF Act. According to the UPDF Act, the Chief of Defense Forces shall be responsible for the command, control, coordination, and administration of the defense forces. But critics argue General Muhoozi has overstepped this mandate.
It's self-explanatory. I mean, even a blind can see. Non-critics.
There are several examples to back up this. First, the unlawful personal detention and alleged torture of especially opposition political figures. For instance, General Muhoozi in May 2025 publicly admitted on X that he was holding Kyagulanyi's bodyguard, Eddie Mutwe, who had gone missing for some days in his private basement, which was definitely outside any gazetted detention facility.
Now, that doesn't sound like an allegation. This is him admitting.
He posted photos of the detainee while shaved, claimed to have beaten him, and threatened further violence. The Uganda Human Rights Commission declared the detention unlawful and ordered immediate release, citing contempt risks. Critics and the Uganda Law Society condemned it as arbitrary detention, incommunicado holding, and potential torture. General Muhoozi rejected the Uganda Human Rights Commission's directive, dismissing the order as stupid and demanding an apology from the human rights body. Yet, his actions violated constitutional prohibitions on unlawful detention and anti-torture obligations as per the United Nations Convention Against Torture.
Torch him.
And now, former Kampala City Lord Mayor, lawyer and opposition politician Erias Lukwago has become General Muhoozi's latest victim. He was detained by soldiers on Monday, 15th June, after preparing to serve court papers on General Muhoozi related to threats and the Eddie Mutwe abduction. Muhoozi confirmed the arrest on social media, posted taunting images and captions, and vowed to inflict hurt and pain and kiboko, or severe beating. General Muhoozi noted that, and I quote, "I am proud of all the hurt and pain I will inflict on the criminal Lukwago." Lukwago's case is similar to that of Eddie Mutwe. Military involvement in detaining a civilian lawyer for legal actions against the CDF undermines civilian oversight. Before Lukwago and Mutwe, General Muhoozi threatened to kill four-time presidential candidate Dr. Kizza Besigye, who is in prison on treason accusations, and opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi. He also publicly announced that security had killed at least 22 National Unity Platform party supporters, whom he referred to as terrorists. General Muhoozi's statements aren't just...
I want to pause here and say this before I forget. You know, at one time, Ibrahim Semjunganda, a former Chila Municipality Member of Parliament, said that the difference between Museveni and his son Muhoozi Kainerugaba is Museveni has a facade. Well, these are my words, but Museveni is intelligent, but with a very, very bad heart. But Muhoozi is stupid with a very bad heart. Now, I don't even consider Museveni to be smart unless you mean pervertedly smart, because of what importance is your wisdom or this knowledge and intelligence, name it, if you are so much greedy when it comes to power. If you look your country being abused by your friends, and instead of holding them to account, you just promote them, give them, like they're going to report here something. Listen here.
Tweets. They potentially violate Uganda's Penal Code Act Cap 120. Section 81 of the Penal Code, for instance, provides that any person who, clause A, with intent to intimidate or annoy any person, threatens to injure, assault, shoot or kill any person, or to burn, break or injure any property, or clause B, with intent to alarm any person, discharges a firearm or commits any other breach of the peace, commits an offense, and is liable to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 4 years. Repeated death threats against political opponents could also touch on broader prohibitions against incitement that risks public peace. General Muhoozi has also been involved in potentially unauthorized foreign policy and diplomatic overreach. Recently, he announced suspension of all UPDF cooperation with the US Embassy, accusing it of harboring Robert Kyagulanyi. However, he later deleted the tweets and apologized. US senators called for sanctions review. In 2022, he tweeted that, and I quote, "It wouldn't take us, my army and me, 2 weeks to capture Nairobi." Kenya erupted in outrage. President Museveni publicly apologized, and Muhoozi was briefly removed as the commander of the land forces, but promoted from the rank of lieutenant general to a full general.
I mean, this is NTV showing the hypocrisy and the hollowness in Museveni's apology. You apologize for this man threatening or putting your country in a crisis, diplomatic crisis, and then you award him promotion for what? So I don't care. I don't even understand the smartness of Museveni.
Foreign policy is an executive function and not unilateral by CDF. Such statements can damage Uganda's international relations, potentially violating UPDF disciplinary codes and constitutional command structures. General Muhoozi supporters argue these are passionate expressions of a leader defending national interests, often followed by apologies or deletions when tensions rise. No formal charges have struck against the four-star general, despite petitions and widespread calls. Is this freedom of expression for a public figure, or a dangerous erosion of civilian oversight and the rule of law? Daniel Kibet.
It is the erosion of the rule of law. That's pretty much what they're telling us. But look at all, these are the people who do his dirty job, the dirty work that he sends them to. He's not as strong as he wants to portray himself. He's not. He's a coward. And I'm so glad that, in a situation like this, you have platforms like NTV who say, if you want to close us, please bring it on. But we won't betray our principles. I read you a few lines from Timothy Snyder's On Tyranny, especially on chapter number 1. Do not obey in advance. What does he say? Most of the power of authoritarianism is freely given. In times like these, individuals think ahead about what a more repressive government will want and then offer themselves without being asked. A citizen who adapts in this way is teaching power what it can do. And you can cross a citizen and write a media house that behave in this way teaches or is teaching power what it can do. As Muhoozi threatens, as long as you know that you stand on the foundations of truth, you have to just keep going, doing what you're supposed to be doing. He's a bully who wants to bully you into silence. But just like Washington Post has that slogan, democracy dies in darkness. And what is darkness? Darkness is when you badge or you bow out and be like, oh, I am sorry, I won't write about you. Of recent, I saw Muhoozi minions like Badam Baragahara angry when Daily Monitor reported this, says, where's Janet? Or they were like, oh, Daily Monitor, you're so bad. Why would you call her Janet? Call her Her Excellency or Madam whatever, First Lady. What's her name? Isn't it Janet Kataha Museveni? What's the problem if I called her Janet? That's her name. No, you cannot call her Janet because you know what? She's a wife to the president of Uganda. Shut up. I don't care. So, I want to say special thanks or send my special thanks to folks at NTV and Daily Monitor. As our country is facing this existential threat, at least you're putting up a fight. At least you're putting up a fight. Thank you. Even on days where you're threatened, you come out with another story that exposes the charlatan he is, a coward he is, a criminal and lawless thug he is. And that is alone, is a fight. That in and of itself is a fight towards this Museveni criminal regime. Okay, let me know what you think in the comment section. But I thought this was cool. Thank you so much. The Daily Monitor and NTV.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.